Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Arif Alkayalar, and I am a PhD candidate within the English Language Education program at Trakya University. Today, I will be presenting a literature review titled Microlearning in Digital Education. So, this work was developed in collaboration with Associate Professor Selma Deneme Gençoğlu from our Department of Foreign Languages, and we hope this review provides a clear roadmap of how microlearning is reshaping modern pedagogy. So, in order to understand microlearning, we must first look at the landscape that necessitated its rise. We are currently witnessing a rapid expansion of network digital media and mobile hardware that has fundamentally transformed how learners access information on a global scale. As noted by Simons, these advancements haven't just changed the tools we use, they have radically altered the very paradigms of how knowledge is created, shared, and updated within our professional communities. And most importantly, mobile connectivity has birthed the concept of learning on the move, effectively dismantling the historical barriers of time and physical location in educational delivery. Also, this shift places significant pressure on our institutions. In the sphere of higher education, these technological developments have forced us to ask critical questions regarding how we must adapt our teaching practices. We are seeing a move away from the traditional role of institutions as sole knowledge disseminators, and instead we are becoming facilitators, focusing on digital toolsets and highly personalized instructional strategies to meet the needs of the modern, connected student. So, where does microlearning fit into this? Essentially, microlearning is a response to the need for flexibility. Rather than delivering long, heavy modules that require hours of dedicated time, microlearning provides small, manageable units and brief, focused interactions. This approach organizes learning opportunities so they can be easily accessed, completed, and even repeated throughout a learner's daily schedule. These interactions are typically action-oriented, designed to achieve specific outcomes in as little as a few seconds or minutes. So, in the first section of our study, we focused on establishing the definition and development of the field, specifically looking at the conceptual boundaries and how this strategy has evolved historically. It is important to note that microlearning lacks a single definition in the literature. However, researchers consistently point to three core characteristics. The first one is the size, the second one is the focus, and the third one is the modular structure of the units. So, a crucial takeaway from our review is that microlearning is defined by its pedagogical strategy rather than the hardware used. While it is often mobile centric, it is the way information is structured that makes it micro. The most recent consensus defines it as targeted, bite-sized content aimed at specific objectives delivered in very short durations. So, in order to be effective, microlearning relies on three pillars. The first one is micro-content strategy. We use compact information sets to prevent the information overload that often plagues digital learners. The second one is modular design, which means every unit is a self-contained element with its own clear purpose and measurable outcome. And the third one is the daily integration, which corresponds to this strategy allows learning to integrate seamlessly into a student's everyday activities and frequent small-scale technology actions. Regarding microlearning, there is a common misconception, which is that microlearning is just shortening a lecture. So In our review, we pointed out that it is significantly more than that. Traditional chunking often breaks a massive syllabus into segments but still maintains a linear long-form dependency. On the other hand, microlearning, however, creates purpose-built independent units that address one primary objective per interaction for immediate application. This independence is what allows for true flexibility. And naturally, the question of time comes up. While time on task is short, it is also found that duration alone is not a definitive metric for success. Study reports show varying lengths depending on the goal and the medium. Ultimately, the effectiveness of a microlearning intervention is measured by whether the learner successfully achieved that narrow objective, regardless of the exact number of seconds spent on it. So, microlearning did not appear in a vacuum. It evolved alongside earlier technology supported frameworks, specifically e learning and early mobile learning. So, we owe much to early e learning research, which established the foundational principles of how to sequence digital information effectively to support user understanding. When we look at the how of microlearning, two cognitive theories are paramount. So the first one is cognitive law theory. Instructional design must avoid unnecessary processing demands, particularly when a learner is facing new information. And we also have multimedia learning. Research by Mayer shows that segmenting information supports learning by allowing users to process material in manageable, self-paced steps. Microlearning is also a powerful tool for spaced education. Evidence from educational settings proves that spaced delivery and repeated retrieval rather than cramming significantly improve long-term retention. Because microlearning units are short, they can be revisited frequently over time, which helps prevent the forgetting curve by providing high-impact review sessions. Which brings us to our second section, where we examine the educational importance and the cognitive benefits of this strategy. So let's move on with that. The value of microlearning lies in its alignment with biological realities. By segmenting complex material, we reduce extraneous cognitive load and focus the learner's attention on key elements. Furthermore, it encourages active processing through frequent, low stakes interactions and assessments rather than passive consumption. And as for the empirical data, it is quite encouraging across three main areas. Motivation is the first one. Mobile microassessments have shown positive effects on motivation in secondary schools. As for the engagement, learners find these systems highly usable and supportive of their specific academic goals. And as for the holistic outcomes, synthesis based on Prisma protocols link microlearning to improved cognitive, behavioral, and even affective outcomes. In terms of access, microlearning empowers the student. It enables self-paced engagement, letting them choose exactly when and where they interact with their education. This is particularly vital in our current technology-rich settings where traditional attendance models are being constantly challenged. And finally, we are going to look at the applications across formal and informal contexts. So we are concerned with educational settings here. So, microlearning is being applied differently across various sectors. In formal schooling, it is often used for preparation or reinforcement. as for in higher education and the workplace, the focus is on lifelong learning and rapid skill updating. And in blended learning, micro tasks are used to introduce concepts before a class or to strengthen recall after the session has ended. So, as language educators, this is where we see the most potential. Language learning requires numerous repeated encounters with words and meanings. So, as for vocabulary, micro quizzes and digital flashcards support these vital retrieval cycles. In terms of skills, brief listening and pronunciation noticing opportunities extend practice far beyond the four walls of the classroom. And we also have generative AI, which is a current issue. Most recently, AI assisted microlearning is beginning to provide personalized support and feedback to pre-service teachers, which is a major area for future research. So it is a very important area as generative AI rapidly advances each day. However, we still must be careful. Success depends on units being connected through clear goals and explicit progression. Microlearning, therefore, is most effective as a complement to macro level planning, and it is not a total replacement for deep, sustained interaction. So, purposeful sequencing is required to build robust mental models in the learner's mind. And we must also address the fragmentation risks. It of course, like every term, has some limitations. If units are disconnected, learners may struggle to develop an integrated understanding of complex topics. Furthermore, tasks that require extended reasoning or very rich, deep interaction may not be suitable for the microformat alone. To wrap up, microlearning is defined by focused objectives and modularity. It increases engagement and facilitates study in our increasingly mobile environments. While fragmented design remains a threat, the pedagogical benefits are clear when the design is intentional. Our final takeaway is that microlearning is a powerful, modern complement to structured, macro level curriculum planning. Thank you all for your time and attention today. Here you can see the full list of references in this used in this review. We provided them here for your convenience, and I look forward to any questions or discussions this presentation may spark.